Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Extruder by me, so let's get into it. Child. Child would freak out, and I mean it. He'd be so worried and so concerned for you, and he would start apologizing really quickly, telling you that he didn't mean it, and that he was sorry and that he would never do anything like this again. But you know he didn't mean it, and it was just a little bruise. It will go away in time. So you just hold his hands, kissing them gently, and waving it off, telling him it was just an accident, and just apologizing was good enough. There was nothing more he needed to do. It was all an accident, and accidents happened from time to time. He didn't want this accident to happen, did he? And as long as he didn't want it, that's all that mattered. Because if you make a mistake too, then you know he won't be mad at you, and you can't be mad at him either. Things like this happen from time to time, and that was okay and acceptable. You hug him close, and he starts freaking out as soon as you hold him. He just wanted to make sure that you wouldn't be mad at him or upset with him. He really worries and doesn't want you to hate him at all. So please, do your best to reassure him. Albedo. Well, he wasn't the one who exactly gave you the bruise, but he may or may not have accidentally created a little monster in the lab. Yeah, it didn't go well at all, and the two of you were endangered for a little bit, but you were quite thankful that nothing happened. And he hugged you, apologizing, and telling you that this will never happen again. He was so upset when he saw that you were hurt, and he felt really guilty, and you could see the guilt weighing him down. Really. So you held him close to you, kissing him softly, and telling him that this was just a little silly experiment. And like most things in life, experiments go wrong, and you learn something from it. Maybe you should make many more studies in labs, and that was enough to learn today. And a bruise to remember this funny moment for a little bit was fine, and you were not sad about it. It was going to go away soon anyway, and it wasn't that much of a bother. Either way, though, Albedo kisses your bruise from time to time, taking care of you and spoils you a lot more than he usually does, helping you with chores. And make sure you don't overexert yourself, even though it was just a bruise and you insist on telling him that you're fine. He just wants you to rest. He's so worried, it's adorable. Venti. That's you were trying something new, and it kind of just ended up very dumb. So, you were trying something with this wind technique, and instead, he pushed you away really hard when you wanted to float. And then, you got a bruise. A big one. Actually, now that you look at it, a couple bruises on your back. And Venti was freaking out. He was so worried about you and so sorry. He hugged you and apologized to you, and you could see that he was almost crying. So you held him close, even though you were kind of in pain from just how rough the push was. And you told him it was fine. You told him you wanted to try this and it was your idea in the first place. And so if it was anyone's fault, it was yours. You did this yourself, and you were going to own up to it. And after whimpering a bit from the way you were standing, he looked concerned again, and he just laughed, telling him to take you home quickly because you really couldn't do this anymore. And thankfully, he got Barbara after, and the pain was all gone pretty soon. Kazuha, the two of you were sparring, since Kazuha was really talented, and you wanted to be as strong as him. You wanted to defend the weak and fight for justice and all of that. And you wanted to do it by Kazuha's side. You thought he was really hot when he did this. And it wasn't because you wanted to impress him. Well, maybe, just a little bit. But you also wanted to do this to help others. And to be with him more. So, it was important to you that you learn how to fight. Especially since Kazuha would always encounter people where just talking to them was not an option, and violence had to be used. And, okay, you were training, you were doing good, and then you just happened to bump into something and fall on the ground. Kazuha Zack quickly ran over to you, holding you gently, but then he realized it was just a small bruise, laughing along with you as he told him that it was nothing. And he was reassured enough by that, but he did tell you to stop training for now, until it got better, and he took you home, icing it up, and got some pizza for you. He wanted you to relax and chill, and it was good. But soon enough, he'd be back at it again. Scaramouche. Scaramouche. Scaramouche actually does not notice the fact that you bruised yourself until he sees the fact that you're in pain. You're moving around and your arm just hurts you. She asks you what's wrong, and when you refuse to tell him, he just takes your arm and pulls back your sleeve and sees the bruise. She frowns, asks who did that, and realizes it was him, accidentally. He doesn't know how it happened, but he apologizes and tells you he will do anything you want him to apologize. But then he don't want anything, and he's left confused. She just takes you out for dinner, and he really takes care of you over the next few days, even though it was just a small bruise. He felt extremely sorry and wanted to show that to you in any way he can. You wanted to make it up to you and all. Xiao. Xiao would actually feel really bad if it hurt you in any way, even if it was just a small scratch or a bruise like that. And when he saw that it hurt you, you could see just the amount of immense guilt he was going through. And honestly, it was painful to look at. So you really tried to tell him it was fine and there was nothing to worry about, but he kept apologizing. So, instinctively, you kept his face in your hands and pulled him forward, kissing him and telling him it was fine. He meant it. He didn't do anything wrong, and there was nothing to apologize for. It was just a mere accident. It wasn't like he was hurting you or anything. And after much nagging from you, he calms down. But of course, since you Xiao, he spoils you a bit too much. Like, helps you sleep, and even insists on feeding you sometimes, even though it was just nothing bad at all. You weren't feeling it, at least not when you were not pumping into it. But he insisted, and that was enough for you to agree.